Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me, as always, is the Welsh. And that's all of you on our Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros. That's the place to be every single Monday through Friday to watch Leading Off Live. Subscribe to the channel. You might win our latest giveaway, and that is, the championship belt. That's right, from Trophy Smack, the #1 destination for epic fantasy hardware. We're giving away not one, not two, but three of these bad boys. April 14th, that's just days away. 8 days, 7 days. What am I saying? 7 days. My math is off this morning. It's Monday. We're still waking up, shaking the dust off an incredible weekend of baseball. And again, if you want to win that, subscribe to the YouTube channel, which we are very close to 30,000. We are just, less than 200 now away. We're getting real close to Livy Dunn / Paul Skeens Day here on the show. That's going to be a good time. Welsh, we got a lot of injuries to talk about. Big injuries to big stars. Some guys in the pitching market as well. We've got some great performances to talk about. It was a jam-packed weekend of baseball, but Welsh, I'm a little bummed because you and I did not make the home run board. We're both stuck at 2. The watermark is now 3, so we got to up our game here in April.
We'll get there. We're on the board here. We will claw and scratch our way up there. You sure will if Shohei Ohtani has anything to do with it. You're just like, I'll just take Shohei Ohtani over the weekend. And yeah,
there's no rules. There's no rules.
Actually, I think there is a rule outside of the weekend. You can't take the same guy back-to-back days. You can ask Kelly.
Who said that?
Kelly
Since
Kirby,
when?
the czar of home runs. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
look at this. Yeah, there very much is some rule. Okay, we're doing this at the same time, guys. There we go. There is a rule.
I can't take Shohei Ohtani today? All right. So
no, Joe was trying to take Shohei Ohtani again today. So that was where I was going with it.
Well, I mean, I was looking at the rest of the board. I didn't like what I saw. I'm like, let's just roll Shohei Ohtani. Oh, sorry. I will abide by the rules because I don't like people complaining. I will go ahead and I'll take a look and I'll find another one here at some point. Before we get to all the injuries, let's get to the good stuff. And I think one of the themes I want to start out the show with today is because I think it's great to see players that struggled last year getting off to good starts. It's good for the confidence. It's good for fantasy managers who drafted him at a discount. I want to start with Yordan Alvarez with another home run. Extra inning loss, though, to the Athletics on Sunday, but he is slashing 400, 578, 900. He is on absolute tear right now. Great start for Alvarez. Last year was just riddled with injuries, and I just think it's great to see Alvarez, who is one of the key pieces for these Astros, and I know they just lost Hunter Brown, so really the offense is going to have to carry them. We'll talk more about Brown later in the show. But Welsh, what are your thoughts on Alvarez's incredibly hot start in April? How does it make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel great. I don't think there's any surprise by it. He's just one of those players that you just need health. You just need him to be out there. Mm-hmm. Whatever, the short-term stuff of like 165 at-bats was last year, where it wasn't like the exact same version we're used to. Even then, you still had, some of the solid underlying things. But Yordan Alvarez is simple and plain. It's that you just need him healthy out on the field. We're seeing a next level that looks like it looks a little bit inflated. Like currently, he's off to like a career-high barrel percentage, career-high hard hit percentage, one of the lower strikeout rates he's ever had. He is doing everything, and he's doing it at an absolutely ridiculous clip. Mind you, we would have one more homer if it wasn't for the rafters at the stadium that knocked down a ball, and he ended up getting that out that ended up being. But yeah, this is great. I would say for the pessimist of fantasy that looks at any injured player and goes, I would say this might be a warning sign if you're one of those people that loves to buy and sell. I'm always amazed the amount of people I talk to that they're just in trade leagues. I don't trade that much. They're these guys that are just like every week they're pulling off 2 or 3 trades. They're just burning and churning players. This would be one of those guys that if you have a worry that the injury bug is going to catch up, Yordan Alvarez is playing as a top 5 player right now. But just remember, he's got, head, shoulders, knees, and toes injuries. It's always something like that. And that's the thing that keeps him from being like an absolutely elite player. So that would be in the back of my mind. But I'm, this is no shocker.
Yeah. Another guy, too, getting off to a good start, Jackson Merrill, 3 for 5 with a homer, 3 runs scored in a Padres 8-6 win over the Red Sox. Merrill was another one last year. Slow start, injuries, trouble getting back on track, exposure against lefties wasn't good. Jackson Merrill, I think, a player that was a very divisive player, I think, in draft season. There were people that were very much on buy the dip and people very much on the, I'm not sure. I was kind of in the middle. I was like, if you get a discount on him, I like him. but I don't want to pay for the guy he was 2 years ago. I'd rather get a little bit more of a discount. And you did get some of that in some drafts this year.
He's still not running though. Like that, like this is fine. I don't look at this profile and I'm not like, whoa, he's not, hitting red on the Baseball Savant page. He's not on highs of anything. He's barreling, at about career average. He's striking out a little bit less. He's getting the ball in the air less, but he's pulling it more. Zone contact. Everything looks about the same for Jackson Merrill. So you're like, okay, that's cool, but he's not running. And that's the difference maker of him being like a pseudo 4th, 5th round type of pick and him being that 2nd round that everybody got super excited about. We see no inkling of running right now. So that has my brain a little bit. Sprint speed still looks good. It's very, very small sample size. Maybe he will, but 0 stolen bases, a couple homers. Love to see the bat get going, but I don't think we have an idea of the version. I mean, if Jackson Merrill hits 25 homers, 90-90 and hits 270, what do you think that is? Is that a 3-4 round play? Or maybe 80-80. What did he have last year? He had, I gotta pull that up there.
He didn't have anything last year because he missed significant time. Last year was
the pacing numbers. What were his pacing numbers to be like?
I still don't, because
I guess he would be he'd be like an 80-80 type of guy at worst. So he was 59 runs, 67 RBIs. That would definitely have gotten him to be the 90s. Yeah, so let's call it 90-90. 270, 25 homers. You think that was a positive return on where you took Merrill?
I think that's a very positive of where he was going ADP wise. I absolutely do. Some other guys too, because it's not just about the hitters that are bounced back too. Some of the pitchers having great starts to the season, and I want to talk about all those guys as well. Because Welsh, I think one of the big things too when we talk about some of these pitchers was guys who were kind of it was a combination of guys that we thought were sleepers, guys that could break out or perform better than last year, guys that were hurt that nobody wanted to touch. Kodai Senga being one of them too. I want to talk about him. I want to talk about Chase Burns, your guy as well, because Burns was another one of these guys that I think that for me personally, I was still kind of I'm a little scared, a little inefficient. It doesn't work for me, but you know what? He was brilliant. 9 strikeouts for him, 1 run in 6 innings. You had Kodai Senga, 5 2/3, 7 strikeouts, another big strikeout performance for Kodai Senga. Kyle Harrison, who was one of my favorite sleepers. Again, we're going to talk about him because 2 runs, 5 1/3 innings for him, another good strikeout total. And Jack Leiter from the Joe Pisapia sleeper team didn't get the decision, but he had 9 strikeouts also. So Leiter, Burns, Harrison, Senga, to me, these were the pitching performances of yesterday that were really outstanding. And now the question is, can they continue on? If you had to pick one of these 4, Senga, Leiter, Chase Burns, and Harrison, who do you think is least likely to carry this momentum further into May?
Okay, good, because I thought you were going to ask me the inverse, and I'm like, well, you clearly know where I'm going to go. I wouldn't shut up about Chase Burns.
That's why I didn't want to ask you that, because I know Chase Burns is the answer of that's your star. Or who's the guy that falls off a map of, not falls off a map, but can't sustain this level of productivity that they've got in the first 2 starts?
Man, that is a fantastic question. And I will tell you the player that I'm sitting on. I'm sitting on their player because I can't have 4 player pages sitting up here right now. And the player I was staring at is Kodai Senga. Kodai Senga's performance is pretty ridiculous. He probably, when you stare at all the names, he had the most, hype, the forkball was something that everybody got so excited about. And it's got a higher whiff percentage this year. His 4-seam fastball is up over 2 miles per hour, but I want to say him. Yeah, also because if you build into I guess his expectations weren't that far off from a guy like Kyle Harrison, but I feel like Kyle Harrison is going to have some version of a floor. But I will say, if this fastball continues, because this looks like the difference maker here, forkball, I think it's just more efficient because the fastball is great, and that's a product of plenty of these guys out there. It's if your fastball is working, you're going to be able to set up and you're going to be able to, throw an effective cutter, and you're going to be able to, specifically the forkball, you're going to get whiffs on it. So if that fastball continues at this rate, it's kind of hard to imagine that he's not going to be efficient, but I just don't buy it. He has been pretty wildly inconsistent over the years. He had a over 1.3 whip last year. I mean, ERA has continued, but strikeout numbers haven't been there. I maybe it's safer to say a Kyle Harrison. Maybe it's safer to say a Jack Leiter. But Kodai Senga is the one that jumps out to me. But I might eat my words in a couple weeks, especially if this fastball velocity maintains.
Let's do a poll up on the Twitch, and let's see. Let's put Leiter up there. Let's put Harrison. Let's put Senga. And let's put, well, you know what? Don't even put Chase Burns. Let's put the three, because I don't think anybody's going to say Chase Burns, and I don't want to offend Welsh this early in the week. Let's put those who is most likely headed for a decline, or however we want to put it, or unsustainable start, whatever works for you, Seth.
I will say
whatever.
This is ridiculous. I didn't even see this. These are Jack Leiter has 4 pitches he throws. And here are the whiff percentages on said 4 pitches. His curveball, which he throws almost 12% of the time, 75% whiff rate. Slider, 60% whiff rate. Changeup, 48% whiff rate, and he has a 43% whiff rate on his fastball. I'll tell you, some of those whiff rates are not going to maintain. How those are equating to strikeout numbers or another ballgame, but they're also ridiculous strikeout numbers. Those whiffs aren't going to maintain, so I do wonder, who does Jack Leiter become when those get banged around a tiny bit, and what does he lean on? But those are I just saw those numbers and I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm not sure I've seen that. It's a small sample size, but 4 freaking whiff numbers at that high right now. He is on something. Not figuratively.
Well, he's not on something. He's on a good trajectory. That's what he's on. He's not on anything.
As Joe would say, just nepotism. That's all that he's on.
He's on got that nepo in his veins, baby. He's running hot this year. I would probably lean towards Harrison, because as much as I liked him going in, and as much as I was excited about him landing with Milwaukee, that was the big thing for me. Is I saw what Quinn Priester and Chad Patrick and all these guys who end up in Milwaukee, what are they going to do? And I liked Harrison's potential more when he was in San Fran than any of those kind of guys. And I just felt like the Brewers are doing it right. Whatever they're doing in this pitching laboratory of theirs, they seem to be getting very good results from guys that don't have the talent of necessarily a Harrison. And then you drop a guy like that in there, all of a sudden, you're in a good shape. And I think San Francisco really screwed that situation up. They kept jerking him around back and forth, up and down, bullpen. It's kind of similar to what happened back in the day to Kevin Gossman with the Orioles, where it's you got a good pitching prospect. Stop screwing him around. Just leave him alone, let him fail, or let him succeed as a starter. Don't put him back and forth between the bullpen. Don't put him back and forth between AAA. Give him a run of starts to find his footing. Otherwise, you're just creating a confidence issue with the kid. And then sure enough, what happens? It's ironic that Gossman had to go to San Francisco to find himself, right? But San Francisco didn't really learn that lesson from the Kevin Gossman experience in Baltimore. So weird stuff there.
I will say, just one last thing.
Yeah.
Of all of the stuff, if you're looking at these guys, Harrison definitely has the least sustainable. He's not getting any whiffs off his slurve. He's not getting any whiffs off of his changeup. But whiffs aren't everything, by the way. But he is striking out a decent amount. He's got a 34% K percentage.
Yeah.
The reason that doesn't seem sustainable is the majority of it looks like the whiff percentage is off the fastball. 34% whiff rate on the fastball. Fastballs, strikeout percentages, it's an old Eric Lauer thing from years ago. High strikeout rates off of fastballs. That's more of a reliever thing. He has a 50% K percentage on his fastball, teens percentages off of his secondaries. So the strikeout rates might come cratering. So now that I've sat on it and I've had a chance to look at all of these, Kyle Harrison probably does seem like the more likely to hold the least amount of fantasy value. But it just felt like Kodai Senga is going to crater because of some of the feelings. But yeah, I don't buy everything happening off of your fastball when you're Kyle Harrison. So I'm a little bit worried about that.
I think Senga's also in a position too where he's kind of in a fork in the road of his career, no pun intended for Senga there. But I think this is a very important season for him, where if he's going to continue to be somebody in the major leagues with a rotation spot, that everybody, this is it. This is your shot here, because there were some rumors about him being traded in the offseason. A lot of people were saying, oh, maybe the Twins want him and this team wants him. So
don't miss your chance to blow. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime, yo.
You better. Yeah, seriously. All right, speaking of once in a lifetime opportunities, how about the night that Joe Adell had? 1 for 3, but he robbed not 1, not 2, but 3 homers, which led to one of the greatest photos in baseball history. And that is not hyperbole. You're looking at it right here on the YouTube channel, on the Twitch. Welsh, did you take this picture? I'm not sure if you were in California.
This is definitely a picture I do. But you know what? I think I'm on the opposite end. I like the other angle of it, where it's I'm a big crowd behind you guy. I like the front facing Joe Adell, where he's standing there and the whole crowd is behind him. I think that's the picture. But Absolutely incredible photo. Absolutely incredible moment. Great. One of the best defensive series you've seen from a player who is not typically a really good defender either. So absolutely insane. Yeah. This photo is pretty great. Just this person standing behind Joe Adell as Joe Adell standing in the crowd.
Yeah. Oh, look, you're right. The one in front is cool because he's got the swagger look. But to me, there's something magical. The crowd in front of him and the crowd behind him, and just standing there. And there's a nice gap. The crowd did not get all over him too. There's a little gap there where they're just respecting the moment, which is nice. I don't know if this would have happened in Chicago or some other places, but in Anaheim, it happened, and just an incredible baseball moment.
Let me ask you this. I saw some discourse of some people going, let me tell you my hot take. And everyone's hot take is if you dive into the stands and catch the ball, that is still a home run. They were trying to say that it's almost like catching the ball, with your 2 feet in, football. You have to be in bounds to catch the ball for it to be a robbery of a homer. And I was like, knock it off. Get out of here. What are we talking about here?
Well, I think if you catch it in fair territory and go over.
But he did not catch it in fair territory. He was in the air, caught it while it was
I think that's a conversation one can have about the rules, because technically the ball is out of the ballpark. And if a fan goes over to bring a ball out, it's tricky. Especially if you leave the field of play. It's one thing if you reach over and bring it back, but if you leave the field of play, I think it is an interesting conversation. I don't know where I land on it.
Because Wonky says if you catch the ball before it hits the ground, it's an out. But their argument, I don't think that's the argument. Their argument is the player is no longer in fair ground,
right?
And they do not land, and they do not land in fair ground. So that's where the
you're not allowed to get out. You can't jump into the stands and catch a ball after that. I know you cannot do.
What do you mean? That's what he did.
He caught it and went out.
No, he dove in the air and he caught the
but he had left his feet and then went over the wall, and that's what happened. You can't physically jump into the crowd, set yourself, and then catch the ball. That you can't do. That I know for sure. That's a no-no.
I mean, I don't I don't know why people want fun to be taken away to have that argument and even talk about it, but there would need to be a stated rule that you have you have to have 2 feet in or 1 foot in, like college football wide receiver rules or something like that. But that was so much of the discourse I saw taken as Joe Adell is just robbing homers left and right, just thievery across the board. Everybody got very focused on this one because of the in and out of bounds thing.
Lovely discussion here. Speaking of challenging and amazing moments and what we had on Friday, we had Konnor Griffin's debut. I don't know about you, Welsh, but I watched the entire Pirates game. I don't remember the last time I watched an entire Pirates game start to finish, but I did, and it was great fun, and we weren't the only ones who were glued to the Pirates game. Our friend and colleague Seth Woolcock was there live and got a little live footage of Mr. Griffin's debut for his Pittsburgh Pirates. Check it out right here. I haven't seen Pirate fans that excited since the era of Doug Drabeck and Andy Van Slyke. It's been a long time for the Buccos. I know they had some of those games where they were in the one-game playoffs a couple times, right? The Johnny Cueto start, I want to say, back in the day. We had some moments there, but this was really electric, this moment here for Konnor Griffin. The rest of the weekend did not go as well for him, but like we said last week, he's a rookie, he's a teenager, there's going to be ebbs and flows. This particular moment, though, was fantastic. It led to a 4-run inning against Bradish. Now, Bradish was one of the few pitchers Konnor Griffin actually saw in spring training, which I thought was an interesting little wrinkle that the announce team threw out that day. So he had a good at-bat. He looked bad on a couple sliders, hung the slider there. Next thing you know, Griffin hits into the outfield, gets the double, drives in a run, and then obviously the 4-run inning starts from there. Big win for them. But any other thoughts, too, not just from that moment, but Welsh, the rest of the weekend too, which again, this was his only hit throughout the entire weekend.
You want him back in AAA? Is that what you're waiting for?
No, I don't want him back. I wanted him in if you're gonna send him to AAA, I just want him to be there longer so he could get his feet under him. It's early in the season, right? It's April. But this was great. The moment wasn't too big for him, but the letdown from it, consequently, has, again, it is what it is, as the kids like to say. So he had the one big hit. It was a great moment. What did you think of some of the other at-bats he took? I don't know how many of you saw, but what did you think of game 2 and 3 for him?
Yeah, I saw a spattering of a few at-bats. I don't know, overmatched or just the adjustment period of what's got to go on is, I think, still in line. I would say one of the bigger positives is he's not striking out. He walked in his first game, which is really positive. He's currently running after this weekend only a 16% K percentage. So, it's a weird thing. He's not getting the ball in the air. He's got a negative degree launch angle right now, and getting the ball in the air and his ability to pull it is a very common young guy thing. It's the most, any rookie, and you start to project homers and stuff, and you'll see a guy, it's in the minors, they got it, 15 degrees, and they're 4 degrees at the major league. So it's just the ability to make the type of contact to get the ball in the air. It's just a transitional thing, but he is barreling the ball. He is avoiding strikeouts right now, but he's not really doing anything else. So we're going to just have to, I really want to see another full week of at-bats. You have this crazy weekend of your major league debut, a home stand, now get to a next team, get through. You've kind of got some of those emotions out. But, for all intents and purposes, right now, it looks a little bit overmatched, but you definitely have to have a couple weeks on it. I would say if you own him, he's probably not a fantasy start right now, unless you're in daily lineups. If you're in a weekly, probably bench him for the week. Let's see how he adjusts and stuff like that. But, I think there's some positive signs for the 19-year-old.
This is an interesting question here from Manny. We got more Pirate stuff too, but this is also Pirate related. Lodolo and O'Neill Cruz were dropped. I don't know why someone would drop Cruz. He had a great weekend. I'm number one in the order. Are either of them worth using that number one pick on? I think both of them are. If you had to, I guess roster construction matters here. If you're hurting at pitching, Lodolo's interesting. Would you go Cruz or Lodolo, I guess, in the vacuum of a 10-team head-to-head Cats?
If I was going to use it, Cruz is hot right now. Even though I was kind of avoid O'Neill Cruz, if he is going to hit lefties like he did early on, and even if he plays the worst defense on the planet, the homers and stolen bases are going to count if there's batting average attached to it. And so far, that looks like it's playing. So I would probably move with that. As everybody's saying, Lodolo's got the blister issues. He's still trying to figure that out. I don't think he's a number one waiver claim. In a 10-team, there's probably adequately decent starters.
Oh man, you can never have enough pitching. More on that later in the show. Also, there was another question here that was provocative here from Silent Flow. Leiter or Messick rest of season? Messick's gotten off to a real good start too.
I feel like I'm probably leaning Leiter, but it's interesting. I don't know if you look, the poll numbers are in. I did not. Done. And Jack Leiter was voted the most likely headed for a decline.
Now that's fascinating. So Leiter is 44%, Harrison 38%, Senga at 19%, which is the inverse of what clearly we have no influence over this audience here on Twitch. So there you go, everybody. So Fantasy Pros MLB, the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks are their own people. They are not influenced by us. They are just here for the show. That's it. No more, no less. But that's really interesting that Leiter was the other end of that spectrum for them. Why do you think that is? Just from last year's inconsistencies and inefficiencies? They just can't shake it?
I think part of it it actually could be maybe built around more of the trust of the other guys. I think that it could be.
That's also fair. Well, I don't think Harrison's done enough to gain trust. Kodai Senga, I can understand. Senga's had some moments. A couple of years ago, 200 strikeouts. That's something Leiter has not done.
The more I've stared at it now, Harrison is my number one. And then it's probably Senga, but Leiter's at the bottom. The K numbers have kind of gone through the roof. His changeup, fastball combo, it's very college-esque right now. His slider has a 60% whiff rate. I think Leiter is really solid right now. So I would pick Leiter over Messick, and I would not have him as the most likely to deteriorate based on those other guys.
Shout out to Yes Sports who resub with Prime. We've also got some other folks, I believe, as well. B Zarzaga has a 7-day streak of watching us on the stream. Appreciate you. All the people, all the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. Again, you can watch us live on the Twitch. If not, you can watch us on demand on YouTube. Fantasy Pros MLB. Subscribe to the channel. Remember, you have a 1.5 times chance of winning those belts if you subscribe to the Twitch. So make sure you get on there as well. One other Pirate note, because this is the show about the Pirates, apparently. Braxton Ashcraft delivered a great performance on Sunday. 8 strikeouts, 6 innings, 1 run baseball. Ashcraft, I know, is a guy that Rico talked a lot about this offseason. Welsh, what'd you make of this performance on Sunday?
That was me. What are you talking about? No, Ashcraft was my guy.
I did shows with Rico where he was talking a lot about Ashcraft. I don't think you and I crossed on Ashcraft that much, but I'm not saying you don't like him. I wanted to give Rico some love. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm with it. Very positive stuff early on. ERA numbers, the strikeouts. He's doing it too while like there isn't like an overly inflated like he's not walking. He's not striking anybody out or anything like that. His fastball looks solid. His curveball looks even better. And interesting, it's a complete pitch mix change because last year he was primarily slider. It was slider, fastball, curveball. This year it has been fastball, curveball, sinker, slider. 4 pitches going 20% or more of the time, and the secondaries are getting big whiff numbers, especially the curveball. Guys are not getting the ball in the air on him right now, so he's doing a good job there. Very, very encouraging stuff. Actually, at some point, I want to go and look into like what the stuff numbers are looking like. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy who's going to have the back end of the rotation. He's kind of a cheat because he's a sparp. If you play in a league like that where, points league specifically, he's a big extra advantage. He's just one of those guys. He's in the Pirates machine of players they were able to burn and churn out. And it's a big power fastball with some good secondaries. And if anything, he's above streamer range right now. He's one of those guys that you want to continuously to hold. Yeah.
And I just realized our friend here, Bizarre Zaga, is actually Bizarre Jizza from YouTube. See how the YouTube audience is coming over to the Twitch? I love that.
There you go.
Tribal Chief right here. Let's go. All right, let's talk about some fun facts. I love fun facts. Rhett Lauder made history. A 1.30 ERA across his first 8 career starts, the lowest mark by any Red since 1913. It's a long time ago. Rhett Lauder also allowed no runs in 5 of his first 8 big league starts, which I thought was a great statistic there. If you get Lodolo back healthy, and Lauder continues to pitch well, and Burns continues to pitch well, and eventually in the second half, you keep your fingers crossed that Hunter Green is back, can the Reds really make a run at this thing?
Oh, yeah. I thought the Reds were going to make a run at this.
The whole National League. I don't mean the division. I'm talking about the whole National League.
Yeah, I mean, when you get Hunter Green back, and if Lodolo can somehow figure out how to stop being a blister god there, and you've got Lauder, and you've got these guys that have success.
Pickle juice, Welsh. That's what Nolan Ryan used to do.
For blisters?
Hands in the pickle
That's
juice.
like a...
Oh, yeah?
Oh, really?
Pickle juice.
That was like a dehydration thing.
Yeah, well, the pickle juice, because of all the salt, dries your hands out. And he was a big pickle juice jar. Nolan Ryan.
Oh.
There you go.
You know what, actually, well, no, I was thinking Merrill Kelly had an issue last year, but it was because he kept getting dehydrated during games and fans started sending pickles to the stadium. So just my nightmare, by the way. Absolute nightmare. But no, this Reds team, the thing I think that makes them so dangerous is it's not just the parts that they have and they're finding success now. It's that they have the assets to make the big moves if they want to. If they want to be an aggressor and they want to get ahead of the game. And I'll just throw this as a total random aside. We talked about like Sandy Alcantara. If the Marlins stop winning games and Sandy goes back on the trade market, it's such a weird, stupid fit, but it's like, that would totally make sense. They could go get another frontline starter. Now, are they missing pieces still? They need consistency, I think, in some parts of their offense. I think their bullpen is pretty dicey, but they definitely can make the run. They have got some of those parts. Lauder's weird, though. Lauder's starting, he's doing a little bit of like it's like a Jordan Lawler, it's like his rookie season. It feels like it's spanning over like 3 years at this point because of injuries and missed time. He didn't even pitch last year, stayed in complex and stuff, but he's a command artist. He won't continuously be like this, and he's never really going to have like high strikeout numbers. I mean, right now he's got almost only 10 K minus walk percentage, which is absolutely abysmal. But, he works on just rocking the command. And if he can keep the ball out of the air, he's not going to give up homers. So I like Rhett Lauder. He's super fun and stuff, but this is not sustainable whatsoever. But we'll see where the Reds go. And if they make some moves, they could do something big.
There's a couple of people saying, is Yuri this year's Sandy? Look, he gave up a big home run to Aaron Judge in little tiny Yankee Stadium. Can we all just relax a little bit? Can we all just take a pill? All right. He was brilliant in the spring. He was really good in his first start. Second start was in Yankee Stadium on opening day, big live crowd. Like, whatever. Okay, let's just take a breath. Take a breath. I know you're a big Ricky Henderson guy, Welsh, and I saw this stat over the weekend too, so I threw this in the fun facts. Ricky Henderson has 1,406 stolen bases in his big league career. No active player right now is within 1,000 of that. Isn't that incredible? Not
What
within
spot?
1,000.
What sparked that?
rookie
Yeah, that is crazy.
I just saw it. I was looking at stats. You know, when I'm looking for the show, I go through MLB stats. I go through Kodai. I get Sarah Langs always has amazing stuff there. Shout out to Sarah, who's fantastic at what she does. But I just came across it, and I was like, oh, Welsh loves a good Ricky Henderson stat. So I just
I do. I mean, it's my favorite photo of all time. My favorite probably meeting of any athlete, especially now, you know, that he's gone from us and me growing up in the Bay Area. Though this will be fun. I really hold on to my boy Chandler Simpson, like, you know, if he could get there. But what is the number? Like, no players was within 1,000. How many career stolen bases does he have?
Whoever has 406, I guess. Like, so if someone's got, you know, 400. Somebody's got 400 career stolen bases right now active, and that's the most.
That's the most. 400 is the most career stolen bases someone has.
I guess that's what the stat says. And I want to say it was Sarah, so Sarah's never wrong about these things.
So Sarah,
it was either Sarah or Kodai. Both are just spectacular because that's all wherever I get. My
I'm looking at this active.
By the way,
Wonky leader. I have it.
Wonky says you don't want me to trade Yuri to you in insiders. I do. And by the way, of all the insiders leagues we have within Fantasy Pros, we have a bunch of leagues that we are all in together, right? For baseball. They're smaller leagues. It's fun. You know, there's a belt, there's a whole thing. And of course, who's number one, just crushing out of the gates in the long extended week? Kelly Kirby. The Wonky Penguin's just crushing. Who's playing the Wonky Penguin this week? Me. I was playing her all week and I refused to lose. I refused to lay down, and they were going on and on about, oh, what an incredible week Kelly's having. And I eked out a 4-6 against her, despite the most magical week in the history of
participation trophy.
Baseball.
Congratulations.
Participation. ESPN actually yelled at me, Welsh. It said, you cannot make any more moves, you dip. You can't do it. Stop trying to. You've already moved everything you can. You've already added everyone you can for this week. I was just throwing everything to the wall, trying so hard just to not finish 2-8 against.
All right, I've got the stolen base leaderboard. Are you ready?
Yeah, but you didn't. You didn't beat me 7-3, and then you're changing the home run rules on me. Okay, go ahead, Welsh.
Okay, we have 3 players that actively have 300 stolen bases right now. Do you want to guess who those players are?
Is one Ronald Acuna?
Incorrect.
It's 70. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it's older guys. Is it Mike Trout?
Yeah. Incorrect. Mike Trout is 8. Acuna was 9 on the list. They both have only around 200.
All right, so active guys who used to steal bases. That's basically what I'm looking at. Can you give me any hints at all? Here?
You have an AL second baseman that's also playing some outfield sometimes.
Oh, so Altuve's on that list?
Altuve's number 2 with 326. I was going to make a trash can joke. The
other
other
a good
one,
guess. Trey Turner.
That is number 3. That is number 3 with 316. Number 1 is on the Royals right now.
Number 1 is on the Royals right now?
Yeah. Starling Marte, number 1 active stolen bases with 361.
Yeah, he did have some. I would never have guessed that.
Here's a fun
big
fact.
Years.
Here's a fun fact, though.
Jimmy said Sal Perez.
In the top 20, there are only 4 players that are not 30 years old. So they're, in their 20s. Only 2 of those players are 26 or younger. I'll tell you the 2 of the 20-year-olds are Nico Horner, who's 19th at 29 years old, and Jazz Chisholm is 20th at 28. They have 134, 135. Can you name the
Zero
2?
chance. Zero chance to find Ricky.
I think you can. These are huge players. These are 2 players, 26 or younger, that are in the top 20 of active stolen bases. Take a guess.
Bobby Witt Jr.?
Bobby Witt Jr. Look at you. You were like, I can't do this. I'm not going to play. You got it immediately.
No, I said they have no
Jr.
chance to reach Ricky is what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. 152. And then the other one is the youngest of players. Can you take a guess?
The youngest of players, and what's his profile? He's got how many steals?
140 career steals. He is 24 years old. And he is, where the hell did he go? 17th on this list.
24? Oh, is it Ellie? Oh, yeah.
De La Cruz. That's
massive
it.
One a couple years ago.
Fascinating looking at the lack of huge monster stolen bases. But if we do get back to guys like if you get a Chandler Simpson that is stealing 60 or 70 bases a year, or if Ellie gets back to 40 or 50, Ellie could have well over 300 before he's 30 years old if he keeps up this pace. But he's still not going to become remotely close because technically
touch Ricky.
You'd have to average 70 stolen bases every year for 20 years to get up to where Ricky is, and that is absurd.
The people have spoken. Should flipping into the stands to rob an out to rob a ball be an out? 63% said yes. So
63 people think if you fall into the stands while catching the ball.
It could be 5 people. I don't know.
No, I know, but 63% say if you dive into the stands while catching the ball,
it's an out.
That is an out. Okay, not a home. Okay, gotcha.
They're on your side.
Okay, cool.
Don't start a fight with the crowd.
Not your side, so you are the opposite end.
Somebody did mention, too, if Joe was the face and Welsh was the heel, the show would not work. And I agree. I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, it sometimes goes that way, like occasionally. Yeah. Like we flip
occasionally, very rarely.
I can absolutely play a heel. Joe has a hard time playing a super baby face. Joe's not a great. They
always say the nicest people play the worst people. And in my acting career, that was something that I did. There were so many people that played the best villains that I knew personally, and they were the nicest people. And some people who played like those ingenue kind of roles, or those very the leading man types. Not always the best people. Not always the best people to be around. Just saying.
Yeah, so. I mean, I don't really play a face. I play what you're. But who's a good wrestler that never was a great face? I feel like Stone Cold.
Well,
but he's not a great heel though. You need a.
But he's an anti-hero. That's a whole other.
You're not an anti-hero. You're like a good heel that struggles to play like a.
I'm like I feel like I'm more Shawn Michaels. Like I'm just you love to hate me, and that's good.
Oh, that's
because even when he was a good guy, when he found Jesus and all that stuff, nobody was really buying that 100%.
See, I knew you would be able to absolutely nail the wrestling reference there. That's a great one.
All right, are you panicking about Sheehan? Would you drop him for Taj Bradley or a streamer spot? Would you drop him for Braxton Ashcraft?
Oh man, I am worried about Sheehan. This doesn't look good. The team context is so good, and if he turns it around, things are going to go in a real positive. But guys, Roki looks better than him, and I just don't know how long
Roki did not look good yesterday.
No, but I'm just saying from an overall perspective. But the stuff is really down on Sheehan. I am worried about him in a smaller league. I don't have a problem dumping him for Braxton Ashcraft or Taj Bradley if you want to stream. In a 12 to like 15 man, that is a little bit tougher. I might wait it out another start, but the stuff has been down, so I am a little bit worried.
Yeah, Hudat says like Roman Reigns too. Yeah, like Roman was pushed as a face and it never worked. He had to embrace his heel, inner heel for sure. And Tummy, who we got to meet in person, lovely guy. Love Tummy Lasori. Got to meet him at the game. Very nice fella. I haven't lost my smile yet. Not yet. We'll see. All right, let's go 3 up and 3 down. Then we'll get our home run calls in and we'll get some bets in for today. 3 up, Brent Rooker, 3-run walk-off homer. Fun moment, too. Bat flipping fun. Luis Robert, 3 for 5, 2 runs. Continues to be good. 2 steals, Welsh. Love that. Oh, my goodness. The 30-30 flashing lights there for Luis Robert. Could it be? We'll find out. And Parker Messick, who we talked about earlier, 6 Ks, 5 innings, 1-run ball. Another great start for him against the Cubs. The Downs, Roki Sasaki, 6 runs and 5 innings against the Nationals. The Nationals? Gross. No. Ranger Suarez, 4 runs and 6 hits. He was a big fade for us going into this year, and so far we've been right. We did not like the move to Boston for him. And Jose Ramirez, tough to do. Hitless in 2 games of a doubleheader. You don't see that one. We have a Cinco Stinko. What's the 0 for 8?
Someone hit the...
There was a Cinco Stinko?
Cinco Stinko. Yeah, I couldn't even say it. Yeah, Cinco Stinko this week. God, who was it? Someone hit it. Someone find it. Oh, I mean, a big old pile of Stinko. You know what I mean?
I don't know what it is. Ocho Nocho? I don't know.
Ocho Nocho is pretty good.
Yeah, if anybody knows who hit the Cinco Stinko, let me know this weekend.
It's killing me. There is someone that had an 0 for 5 strikeout game.
Was it Ian Happ?
I don't know if it was Ian.
Ian Happ just hits home runs or strikeouts right now. That's all he has. Hit home runs or strikeouts. There's no in between for Ian Happ this week. Very weird thing.
That's true.
All right, we got to talk about the injuries, Welsh, because there's a lot of them, and I got to take responsibility for one. I rarely do this, but I invested because I was really, excited for baseball season, and was traveling out to see the Welsh and was excited about baseball and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, there's a little Funko Pop deal. So I'm going to buy a Juan Soto Funko Pop. Look, it just came today, right? Within 12 hours of me purchasing this online, Juan Soto has an injury. It is a mild calf strain. He's day-to-day. They should put him on the IL. I want them to put him on the IL. Will he go on the IL? I don't know, but I think it's for the best. It's April. Just put him on the frickin' IL, and let's not try to push things here with our billion-dollar player. Welsh, do you agree or disagree with this path? I don't care if it's mild. I don't care if it hurts a little bit and he feels better tomorrow. I don't care. Put him out for 10 days, and let's make sure we're good. It's only April. What are your thoughts?
I do agree that it is your fault. That's definitely
that's
for
fair.
sure. If
That's
there's
fair.
something wrong with Soto, it's definitely to do with Joe. But no, you're pretty hard stanced, I feel like, on this type of stuff. You're always like, for better or for worse, who needs
You can see him pulling his calf right here, right there.
But you've always been like this with any player. You're just like, I just want them to sit and be. If they don't need to sit, I want to see them play the games. I don't want baseball to ever turn into the NBA and LeBron it, and there's an 82 game season and they play 45 of them. I want them to play. I don't want them to re-aggravate, but pretty sure the team doctors are relatively solid across the board. And if they say he's good and he needs a day or two, then get him the hell back out there. So I don't want them to sit look at Corbett Carroll. You'd have been like, sit Corbett, put him on the 60-day IL and let him have a month. He's out there
I was
smacking
fine with
bombs
the
off
Corbett
the
Carroll. Corbett Carroll I'm fine with, but again, the calf strain can lead to Achilles tears. And that is one where you're done that's it. It's over for a very long time. You might not be the same player ever again. Like, I don't want to.
Obviously, there's no worry of a tear.
All right,
by the way, it was
Hunter
Matt
Brown.
Wallner. It was Matt Wallner.
Matt
with the
Wallner, yes,
Stinko.
well
was
done.
The one.
Yeah, there you go, Matt Wallner. Congratulations. First Cinco Stinko of the year. Hunter Brown on the 15-day IL. We're going to go long today, kids. It's a Monday. We got a lot of stuff to do. Hunter Brown, and everyone's happy about it because they always say lighting off should be longer anyway, and we're going to do it longer today because our meeting
nobody
got
on the
canceled.
planet cares that it's going to go longer.
No,
Everyone's
nobody
happy.
cares. They love when it's a long show, and you know what? We're going to give it to you today. So buckle up. Extra large version today of leading off. Hunter Brown, 15-day IL, retroactive to April 2nd, right shoulder strain. Welsh, your thoughts and who fills in here for the Astros?
Super worrisome. I mean, whoever fills for the Astros, it doesn't matter. It's not fantasy relevant.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Ryan Weiss and Burrows. They just got a bunch of these vagrants that are out there just, throwing pitches, and there's pseudo fantasy relevance. But if you lost Hunter Brown, you're not going to the Astros for a replacement. You're going to be hoping guys like Taj Bradley, like Emerson Hancock, who are really popular pickups. Those are the guys you want to be going to. But I'm very worried about this. This was like a mystery. All of a sudden, they're just like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to put him on shoulder strain. I don't like this at all. I have some bad feelings that this is going to be much longer than the 15-day IL. And I'm worried this is one you're going to come back and have residual issues with. So terrified as a Hunter Brown guy.
Not good. Also not good. On Friday we left and we were told, hey, Yordan Lawler, he's going to be okay. The X-rays seemed okay. Well, I guess we dug a little deeper and it's not okay. It's a broken wrist and he's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks. So here's my question to you. First of all, I love that all the Diamondbacks guys over the years are named Goldschmidt or Waldschmidt or I don't know, Silver Schmidt, whatever the hell, all the Schmidts over.
They need
Arizona.
Schlittler just to help.
Yeah. So will we see Waldschmidt relatively soon because of this? 6 to 8 weeks is a long time. I mean, this is like 2 months potentially here.
Unfortunately not. They had an opportunity to do it. So what it looks like, and they said this, is they're going to keep him down in AAA. And part of this is because if they make the move, they have to put Ryan Waldschmidt on the 40-day IL, which means they would have to designate a current player, because they made all these moves when all the guys went on the 60-day IL and stuff. They would have to designate a player off of the 40-day, which, by the way, when you got Joe Ross off, you could have just made that move and been fine. But you had to you had to designate a guy off the 40-man to get him up. And I think their logic, I hate it. Their logic is they don't want to put him on the 40-day. Lawler comes back, and they got him taking up a 40-day roster through the rest of the season.
You mean the 40-man roster?
40-man. Yeah, I'm saying 40-day. 40-man. Which that tells me that this team really doesn't want to be aggressive with Ryan Waldschmidt. Now, their hand might get forced into it, but I think it is actually super annoying that the argument they're making against it is they just don't want him to be on the 40-man, which tells me they don't have eyes on him being in the majors for the first half of this season, which I think is a real stupid play. Like Tim Tawa and Jorge Barosa as your left fielders is not smart.
I love Tim Tawa though. Can't get enough Tim Tawa.
You just like his name.
I do. We were opening day and everyone's like, Corbin Burns, hey, and Ryan Nelson, hey, Tim Tawa. It was like one guy.
Crickets. Well, got more of a cheer than Joe Ross did.
He sure did. And Joe Ross went out immediately that night and said, screw you, Arizona Diamondbacks, man.
Fans knew.
So Lawler out. Cade Horton also left to start because of a right forearm discomfort. Precursor
They
here.
said it wasn't as
Not
bad
good.
as they thought. He was like crying coming off. They said it actually
He wasn't the only one.
It was not as bad as deemed, like that this is going to be a whole thing. But, forearm discomfort is absolutely terrifying.
All right, so a lot of injuries there to start. Mookie Betts is undergoing an MRI because he left Saturday. We'll get the results of that. Zach Wheeler, we're going to talk about on our short today. He allowed 5 runs over 3 innings in a minor leagues rehab start. I don't want to get into too much of that. Go watch the short on YouTube because we've got the buy sell, and we're going to talk about that. It's one of my guys I'm going to talk about. Mike Trout, day-to-day with the hand contusion, got hit on Sunday. Jackson Chourio is being reevaluated on Friday to see his status. Alejandro Kirk goes to the IL with a thumb fracture. A lot of injuries this weekend. We started off so good, and all of a sudden this weekend hit, and it's like, boom, Friday, everything just happened. Merrill Kelly, though, 5 scoreless innings on Friday. He's back soon, hopefully. And then Spencer
Got one
Strider,
more rehab start for him, they said.
One more rehab. I said soon. 20-pitch bullpen session on Friday he threw. Everything seemed good, so now they're going to try to get a time frame for him to do live hitters and then go through that. So, I'm guessing sometime late April, early May is when you get him back. Let's go to the home run board. See after the weekend who's the big winner here. It's Who Dat with 6. Baby Billy at 4, along with Legit, Solar Flare, Jay Keefe, all have 4. And Life with Fife, all have 4. I have 2. Welsh has 2. And look, there it is, the big winner right there, the Juan Soto jersey. No one knows where this is from, this New York one.
Jersey, yeah.
Did we get the answer to where this is? It's pretty awesome. So anyway, you can win this. All you got to do is join our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. And remember, if you subscribe to our Twitch here, or if you're a premium member of Fantasy Pros, you get to go into the Discord and make the home run calls. Welsh, I have pivoted to Yordan Alvarez because I've been told that I can't take Shohei Ohtani because I had him on the weekend, which stinks. He's in Coors Field today. Good environment. He's leading the league in OPS. Got 4 home runs. I think that's good enough. Where are you going for your home run call today?
I am trying to will a Jack Caglione homer into existence.
I tried last week. It didn't work.
I'm going to try to will it
twice
into existence today. Tanner Bybee, not been good so far, giving up some homers. Definitely homers are an issue with him. That right field is a beautiful little spot for a left-hander to drop a big bomb into, and that's something that Jack can do and will do, and hopefully that can get me on the board for tomorrow.
All right. Welsh, it's time for the best bets of the day. With Joey P and the Welsh. I don't know why I did the whole thing. I don't know what happened to me. It's a Monday. Let's redo it. You want to redo it or no?
Do whatever. I mean, it's probably better when you just do it, but that's fine.
Is it though? Is it the same feeling? Let's do it again.
Sure.
Hey Welsh, you know what? You know what it's time for?
What time is it?
It's time for the best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. That's right. Brought to you by Hard Rock Bet, the sportsbook of Florida. Hard Rock Bet right now. Of course, tonight too. You got the big college basketball championship. Get involved in that. They got the daily dance boost, the live profit boost. They got all kinds of boosts. And at Hard Rock Bet, they're paying out $25 in bonus bets throughout the tournament if a team you bet to win or cover hits a buzzer beater. But you can only do it at Hard Rock Bet. Welsh, today for my bet, I'm going with Milwaukee on the money line, -108. Brandon Woodruff is on the mound, and let me tell you, the Red Sox are in trouble, man. They can't get any offense together. They're 2-7. Brian Bayo has a 9 ERA. He's facing Brian Bayo. I don't think is long for this rotation. Peyton Tolley, by the way, good start in the minor leagues this weekend, just FYI. Maybe he will be on prospecting with the Welsh tomorrow, but I'll take Milwaukee -108, despite the fact they're on the road here in Boston. Hopefully Woodruff can get them at least 5 to 6 quality innings. And as I said before, that Red Sox offense doesn't look good. The Red Sox starting pitching has been spotty here. So I will take Milwaukee today on the money line, -108. How about you, Welsh? Where are you going for your best bet of the day?
I am going to be tailing 2 high-end pitchers here. We've got Seattle and Texas. I am taking the total run 7.5 under today because we've got Logan Gilbert and Jacob deGrom on the mound. I will tell you that I think Logan Gilbert will be the reason we win or the reason we lose for this. Logan Gilbert early on has had one of the higher starting pitcher velo dips, but it's just a small sample size. It's hard to really believe, as well as a guy like Logan Gilbert, that that's going to maintain. But if he's back on his business, keeping that offense in tow, you've got Jacob deGrom who can keep this offense down. So Seattle, Texas, I like the under 7.5 runs. That's for my best bet of the day.
And don't forget, everybody, also the MLB prop bet cheat sheet is here and available for you at bettingpros.com/MLB props. See daily hit rates, EV, and 1 to 5 star ratings for every prop bet. And you can go premium for 26% using the home run code, home run 26. That's the code on web or iOS to unlock the 5-star bets right now. And of course, when you place your bets, do it over at Hard Rock Bet right now. So download the Hard Rock Bet app today and enjoy your Hard Rock betting. Welsh, great show today. Tomorrow we have prospecting with the Welsh. We got our buy and sell video coming out on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel to watch that later today. Welsh, I'm hoping for Peyton Tolley conversation. I'm hoping for Max Clark conversation. I don't know if we're going to get into it. This is your segment, but I'm just hoping personally that those guys make your list tomorrow. We'll see.
Probably not a Tolley. I mean, Tolley did get taken deep by my boy who was on this show last week, Kalen Culpepper. But Max Clark is definitely worth consideration. Yeah. We'll see. You guys have to tune in.
Oh, Tolley did have a bunch of strikeouts though in that game. He's a hoss. He's a hefty.
He's a big.
I like those kind of guys. Yeah. You know, I like those. I like the guys that look like they're gonna, bring a keg of beer out to the mound.
But listen, the Red Sox issue currently isn't just it isn't like the rotation. It's this absolutely putrid offense that they're putting out.
The offense is a problem. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, it's bad again today,
and
then we'll cash my bet.
Playing second base. I don't know if that's going to help them.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. An extended version of Leading Off Live. Again, subscribe to the twitch.tv/FantasyPros. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, FantasyPros MLB. And thank you, everybody, for watching the show so much. Our numbers are huge year over year. We got a great production staff. We got a great team here, and we appreciate you being with us. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. I like the big boy pitcher. I like Lance Lynn. Give me this one of the big hoss. Who's your favorite big hoss pitcher, Welsh?
We don't have a lot of big hoss pitchers anymore.
Not anymore.
Where are they?
I miss the big boys. Where's Sid Fernandez when you need him?
Ozempic, man.
Yeah, it's ruining baseball.
Filthy eating.